Let's talk about the Stackelberg duopoly model. Let us say we have a market demand function as 100, P is equal to 100 minus Q. P is the price, Q is the total output. In this duopoly model, we have duopoly model means we have only two firms in this. That means Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Q1 denotes the output of firm 1 and Q2 denotes the output of firm 2. Total cost is being given us as 40Q. We need to find out the equilibrium output of two firms and also equilibrium market price. Okay, so this Stackelberg duopoly model is also called the Stackelberg competition. It is a model of imperfect competition based on non-cooperative game. You know it very well. So what happens in the Stackelberg duopoly model? We have a leader firm. Okay, we have a leader firm and a follower firm. Okay, we have a follower firm. Okay, leader firm first moves. Okay, in this model, leader firm moves first. That means leader firm chooses its output level first and then the follower firm moves sequentially. Okay, so in this case the firms move in a sequential manner, in contrast to the Carnot model where both the firms were making their output decisions simultaneously. Okay, so this is also the basic difference between Carnot model and Stackelberg model. In Stackelberg model, output decisions are made sequentially. First, the leader firm makes the output decision, followed by the follower firm. But in case of Carnot model, the output decisions are made, simultaneously by the two firms. Okay, so let's see how to solve this. Okay, so let us say firm one. Let us say firm one is leader. Okay, he sets its output first. We also call it the first mover. Okay, first mover. Now how does the leader firm choose its output decision? Okay, what it does, it simply observes the reaction function of firm 2. Okay, it anticipates the reaction function of firm 2. Okay, and what is let me write it here. Observes or anticipates, it observes a reaction function of firm 2 What will be the reaction function of firm 2? I have explained it in the earlier video what is meant by reaction function and other stuff. So for the sake of simplicity, let me also show the reaction function of firm 2. How do we calculate the reaction function? Simple thing. Let us say we have P is equal to 100 minus, since Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2, I can write it like this: Q1 minus Q2. I am just trying to show how to find the reaction function. Okay, so we are interested in finding the reaction function of firm 2. So how do we find? Total revenue of firm 2 will be equal to price into output of firm 2, which will be equal to, this is price 100 minus Q1. I have explained it in depth in the earlier video, so you can check that very video also. Okay, so this is 100 Q2 minus Q1 Q2 minus Q2 square. This is the total revenue function of firm 2. Okay, then marginal revenue function of firm 2 will be simply the derivative of this total revenue function with respect to Q2. So we have derivative of Q2 is 1, so we are left with 100 minus derivative of Q2 is 1, we are left with Q1 minus derivative of Q2 square is 2Q2. Okay, this is marginal revenue. And what is the marginal cost for firm 2? Simply total cost is being given us, so I can write this total cost like this: 40 Q1 plus 40 Q2 also, because Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Okay, now marginal cost is simply the derivative of this total cost function with respect to Q2. No Q2 is involved in the first term, its derivative is 0, so derivative of Q2 in the second term is 1, so we are left with 40. Okay, now equilibrium condition is requires, that means profit maximizing condition requires that our marginal revenue of firm second should be equal to the marginal cost of firm second. So let's equate them. So marginal revenue is 100 minus Q1 minus 2Q2, and we equate it with marginal cost, which is 40. I'm just trying to show you how to first calculate the reaction function of firm 2. Let us solve this for Q2. That means if I transpose Rather, I can write it like this: q1 plus 2 q2 is equal to 100 minus 40 is 60, which gives us 2 q2 is equal to 60 minus q1, which gives us q2 is equal to, transposing this two, it will get divided to each of these terms. Okay, that means or let me write it here: q2 is equal to 30 minus q1 upon 2, q1 upon 2. This is the reaction function of firm 2. Okay, so let me write it here. The reaction function of firm 2 will be equal to q, that means q2 is equal to 30 minus q1 upon 2. Okay, by reaction function, what we mean, it is also called the best response curve. It shows us the best response of firm 2 in terms of the output level decided by firm 1. How does the firm 2 changes its output level? Okay, when the firm 1 chooses its output level. Okay, this is being shown by the reaction function. Okay, first thing was that to calculate the Stackelberg, equilibrium output. Okay, or Stackelberg equilibrium, we take two firms, firm a leader firm and follower firm. We say firm 1 is the leader. Okay, firm 1 is also called the first mover. Okay, the firm 1 observes the reaction function of firm 2. This is the reaction function of firm 2. It uses this reaction function, okay, in choosing its output level. That means what will we do here? If this is the reaction function of firm 2, firm 1 will insert this reaction function into the demand function. That means P is equal to, so we have 100 minus q1 minus q2. Okay, in place of this I have written it, because q is equal to q1 plus q2. This is the demand function. Then firm 1, what it does, it simply inserts, rather we just insert uh, the reaction function of firm 2 in this demand function, or a reaction function of firm 2 is being given us. That means q2, in place of q2 I can write this minus 30 plus q1 upon 2. This is the reaction function of firm second. Okay, now what will be the total revenue for firm 1? Simply price into output. And what is price? Price is this function, that is 100 minus q1 minus 30 plus q1 upon 2. To this we multiply q1. Okay, so this is our total revenue function for firm 1. Then marginal revenue for firm 1 is simply the derivative of total revenue function for firm 1 with respect to q1. Okay, now if I write it here, okay, solve it further. So we have 100 minus 30 is 70. 100 minus 30 is 70. To this we multiply q1. Then we have minus q1 square. Okay, or I can write it in this form also. So let me show it simply here. Okay, okay, so P is equal to, if I solve it here, let me solve it again here. So first let's solve it here. It will become P is equal to 100. So minus q1 plus q1 upon 2 becomes minus uh, rather 100 minus 30. Let us save the space. 100 minus 30 is 70. Minus q1 plus q1 upon 2, that means we have 1 upon 2 minus 1. This is minus 1 upon 2, that means minus q1 upon 2. Okay, this becomes our demand function. Okay, then total revenue, as I told you, total revenue for firm 1 is equal to P into q1, which is equal to 70 minus q1 upon 2. To this we multiply q1. Now taking the derivative of this function gives us the marginal revenue function. Okay, or let us write it again. This becomes 70 q1 minus q1 square upon 2. Okay, I have just solved this. Now taking derivative of this function with respect to q1, we are left with 70 minus derivative of q square is 2q. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So we are left with only q1. This is the marginal revenue. What is marginal cost for firm 1? Simply the derivative of uh, you know total cost with respect to q1, and which gives us, if we take the derivative of total cost with respect to q1, so we are left with the derivative of q1 is 1, so we are left with 40 only. Okay, and the derivative of the second term will be 0 because we are taking the partial derivative with respect to q1. Now equilibrium requires that our marginal revenue should be equal to marginal cost. Okay, which implies 70 minus q1 should be equal to 40, which implies q1 is equal to 70 minus 40 is equal to 30. That means the leader firm should produce an output level of 30. Now what about firm 2? Firm 2, which is the follower firm. Okay, to get the output level of that very firm, we just put this q1 is equal to 30 in the reaction function of firm 2. That means the output level of firm 2 will be equal to 30 minus q1 is 30 upon 2, so 30 upon 2, which gives us 30 minus 15, which comes out to be 15. Okay, that means q1 firm leader firm will produce 30 units of output, follower firm will produce 15 out, half the output level that is being produced by firm 1. And what will be the market price? Simply we have 100. Okay, q1 plus q2 is here. Q1 is 30, q2 is 15, so 13 plus 15 comes out to be 45. So we have 100 minus 45, which gives us p is equal to, I guess, 55. That means the market price will be 55. Okay, so the basic difference between the Carnot model and Stackelberg model is that in the Carnot model, firms choose their output decisions simultaneously. In case of Stackelberg duopoly model, we have firms choose their output levels sequentially. That is, a leader firm first chooses its output level, and we have seen it is 30, and then the follower firm chooses its output level. How does the firm 1, which is the leader, chooses its output decision? Simply it observes the reaction function, or it anticipates the reaction function of firm 2. And how do we calculate the reaction function of firm 2? I have explained it here and in the earlier video of the Carnot model. Okay, after that we just plug the reaction function of firm 2 and put it into the demand function and solve for the equilibrium condition. That means profit maximizing condition, which requires marginal revenue should be equal to marginal cost. Okay, and after that we got the output level of firm 1. Correspondingly we just plugged the output level of firm 1 back into the reaction function of firm 2, which was the follower, and after that we got the output level of firm 2, and then we got the market price is 55. Just plug the value of q1 q2 in this demand function to get the market demand price. Okay, I hope I make myself clear in this video. Thank you. For more videos on mathematical economics, please subscribe this channel, like, comment and share also. Thank you.